12 days of Christmas. So today I'm going to make something. This is like a last minute Christmas gift that everyone would love. And it's using stuff I am sure you crafters have already at home. So I'm going to be using, here's our supplies. Do you remember when you were doing the jelly printing? And we had these deli wrap papers. So they're very much like parchment paper. So the beauty of them is they're already pre-shaped. So I believe these are 10 by 12 or almost 11 by 12, but they're pre-shaped. And if any of you made any cotton masks, I have lots of pre-cut fabric for masks that I was going to make. Then we're going to need some beeswax. I'm just reaching over here to grab it. Then we're going to need some beeswax. I have two kinds in here. I got this at Michael's. Oh, I got a bag full at Michael's and I put it in this container. I think this was a coconut oil container. Fits. And then some people swear by pine resin. Figured out already. We're making beeswax food wraps. Now, some recipes swear that you have to have pine resin, but in my research, pine resin is not a natural, I think it's a tiny bit toxic. So I prefer not to put it in. I've made them before. I've never put it in. I just use straight beeswax. And then they said you can use just beeswax and jojoba oil. I don't have any jojoba oil. So I looked up replacement for jojoba oil and coconut oil. The reason you want an oil like that, it's one that has really good shelf life. And we all know coconut oil has shelf life. So we have our beeswax. And then I melted some coconut oil in a little gravy pitcher. So it just melted coconut oil. So let's get started. I have an old iron for crafts that I just used for crafting. And a little mini ironing board that I got at a thrift store that I absolutely love because I'm not ruining household items. I was going to say I'm not ruining Richard's ironing board because I don't iron. I hate ironing. Absolute hate ironing unless I'm crafting. Richard loves to iron, as does my daughter. Funny note, my daughter, when she was in university, used to iron the football players' dress shirts because they would have to wear dress shirts and suits when they went, to play on a game. And she would charge them, and that's how she made her spending money. Hilarious. But anyway, I digress. So if you're out and about ever and you go in a thrift store, look for one of these little travel ironing boards. I think that was $4. And an old iron. Perfect. So I put some newspaper on the table because I'm working on the kitchen table. I don't want to get wax and oil over it. And and I put a little towel down here. So let me get the camera set up so we can get started. Okay, so I've got this set up very precariously, but we'll give it a try. So what I've done is already laid down a piece of parchment paper or your jelly paper prints, the deli wrap paper, and I'm just going to try it on. Let's just grab one of these prints here. Sorry, I'm not ready, but I have so many left over from making masks. So here we go. Just going to lay it right on top. Then I'm going to simply just sprinkle beeswax on top. Apparently the jojoba oil and or the coconut oil helps them become more pliable. But I've had no trouble with my my food wraps. Okay, so then I'm reaching over to grab a little bit of coconut oil. I need more beeswax, I can see here. So you just want to make sure it's covered with a little bit of both, okay? And my coconut oil is usually in a solid form, although coconut oil melts so quickly. So I'm glad you guys can see. So I'm trying to get every surface, but I don't want to do too much because you can always add more. Okay, my iron is hot, so we're just going to kind of press our iron down. We want to melt all this beeswax. This is the easiest way. When I did this before, oh my goodness, I was brushing beeswax for days. It just took forever. I used a little slow cooker pot. Can you see it running off there on the ends there? So I had more than enough. So let's get right here. I'm going to move this a little bit because it's close to my floor. There. And make sure you get to all the corners and get that beeswax all in the corners there. And you guys, that's pretty much it. And then we're going to lift up this top piece of paper and make sure we covered every single corner. I think we did, and I think the next one I can use less wax. Oh, this is all soaked, but let's have a little peek on the back. There's a little corner there that didn't get enough wax. So I'm just going to let it soak up what's already on here because we have more than enough excess. Yeah. So I'm going to take this over to the counter and just lay it on the counter and let it cool off. Okay, let's go ahead and try another one. So I put some beeswax, and I have to say it smells so good. I love the smell of beeswax. These little chips, oh, this method of doing these has got to be the simplest. And if your fabric isn't already cut, just cut it up. You can use old shirts, old sheets, or old fabric, as long as it's like a cotton or a cotton blend. And then when you go to wash these, they can be used to wrap up anything except meat and anything quite liquidy, obviously. They're not gonna, I suppose if it's in a bowl though, and you keep your bowl sitting straight up, liquid stuff, it would be fine. But for sure not meat, because these cannot be washed with hot water for obvious reasons. It's wax, and the wax will come out of them. But anything else, it's phenomenal. Just gonna use the one I just used. The iron's all hot and ready to go. And just hold this there. And a good old hot iron in this ironing board. This is just jiggity boo, you guys. Loving this. And what a great present. You know, you wrap up 2 small ones or 3 small ones and a big one and wrap it up in twine. Beautiful. Make your own label. And you're good to go. And if you had to buy beeswax, that's pretty much all you had to buy. Love this. So let's just check again and make sure we got it. The dark fabric is great because you can really see if you missed any or not. So what I did, I'm going to show you over here. I brought in from outside my summer clothes rack. I washed it all down really good because I know these are going to be wrapping food, and I'm just letting them dry on top of that. So I will go place this one over there, and I'm just going to carry on like this. But I thought this would be a great gift because I know how much these cost. They are pricey. So let's just check this first one. I think it was this one, and see how it's gonna stretch. Hold on. Because remember, you want it to kind of scrunch up and stick together so it'll wrap around your food. Look at that. It feels sticky and it's gonna wrap. Great. Where it is all cooled. So I just want to show you how it works. I'm going to do it with one hand. I've got some cheese here. You don't have to leave it in the plastic. You can just put the cheese right on the beeswax because beeswax is natural. Comes from bees. That's how we make honey. So Anyway, I just didn't take the time to take it out of this. So you just wrap it around. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Wrap it around and then just kind of fold it like a little sandwich wrap. You don't even have to do that if you don't want to. Give it a little squeeze. And there you go. There's your food wrap. So this is how the packages ended up. I haven't tied them in a bow yet, and I'll show you why. So each one has one large one. This one is probably, it's double the size of this. So it's 20 by 10. So this one's 20 by 10, so that's pretty big. This one is, like if you wanted to pack up a whole bunch of sandwiches or something, going to a picnic, cake, anything like that. This one is 10 by 10. These two ones are the first ones I showed you, and I believe they were 9 by 8 or something like that. I can't remember. So there's one extra large, one large, and two small. Or one large, one medium, two small. Yeah. So I just used fabric I had, and they're so sticky from the wax. And I just used twine to tie it. So the next thing I did was write out some tags. So it says Beeswax food wraps. These were those, Michael's had them in their dollar bin, those recipe cards. So I just cut it in a tag shape and punched a hole in it with my crocodile. It says Beeswax food wraps, wash with cool to lukewarm water. And I told you why, because if you use hot water, the wax will melt off them and go down your drain. And then plug the drain. You know, air dry. So I just basically leave them either over the tap or just somewhere just so they can hang. Not to be used with meat products, soap. Oh, I forgot to use wash with cool lukewarm water and dish soap. I'm going to add that there. And then the ingredients, beeswax, coconut oil, and cotton fabric. That's it. So I'm going to tie this tag onto these food wraps, and then I'm just going to show you how I'm going to wrap it up. Come back to this for a minute. You know how it wasn't sticking that great? It's because the plastic was on the food. So when I took the plastic wrap off, now it's just sticking wonderfully. Look at that. No problem. So the cheese is in here. It's great. See? Not coming apart at all. So it was because there was plastic wrap, which defeats the purpose. You're doing these to get rid of plastic. Oh, my poor table. I'm going to clean this all off. Okay, so I want to show you the next steps. So I put the tags on them, and I added wash with cool to lukewarm water and dish soap on all of them, because you can use dish soap. As long as it's more about the hot water than it is about the soap. And then the next I'm going to show you how I wrap them up, because it's nice to have a little container to keep them in, like a little envelope or something. So this is what the finished thing looks like. And I made it like a little envelope, so they can always fold them up and stick them back in there if they want to. So all I'm going to do is fold this up like this, fold that down, cut off the little excess so there's not so much foldage, use washi tape, and slap it together. So let's go ahead and do this. So here we have our beeswax food wraps, and they are all wrapped up pretty. They look lovely, and there's how many did I say? 4 in each one. So I made 20 of them and a couple of extras for me, and you can see how well they work. It's fantastic. So this is a last minute Christmas gift, and really go out and get some beeswax chips from Michael's, or have them, you know, roadside pickup, or get it on Amazon if you want. If you have Prime, you can get them the next day. And if you don't have any coconut oil, you don't even need to use it, because I didn't use it in my last one. To store mine, I just have them in a glass container. Or this has got a plastic lid, but it's glass. It came from Costco. And these are glass on the bottom. And I just leave them in here, and I keep them in the cupboard where I would have kept my plastic wrap. So they're right there handy, and they have been used and, oh my goodness, used and washed and used and washed. Oh, there's a little crumb. And yeah, just used and used and used over and over and over again. And when you think of the amount of plastic wrap that you're not using, fantastic. So I don't really need any more than that. So I didn't make myself a set except for this little guy. But please give these a try. Help the environment. Give somebody a gift that you're not only giving them a really cool Christmas present, but you're giving the earth a gift too, right? All of these people will not be using, well, they'll be using less plastic, let's put it that way. So beeswax food wraps are a great thing for 12 days of Christmas. So we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.